Hello everybody, this is part 2 of How Tribalism Hurts Young Black Men, and I want to read from this book, The Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty. Read it if you want, I don't care, it's your life, and blah 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 blah. Anyway, the price of, and I cross out admission and replace it with exit. My dad was a Lutheran pastor in an extreme sect of Lutheranism called the Wisconsin Synod. This church was more of a cult where it did not care about its members, did not care to teach the children about Christ as much as brainwash them to become future congregants, and the teachers I endured while attending its school were mean, abusive, power-hungry control freaks that used, quote, God as an excuse to lord over helpless children. Any normal, self-respecting person would flee this hostile and evil environment. However, like many cults, they employed a tactic that kept people within this tribe hell. It was buried into our skulls at a very young age of 3 that if we did not believe in some long-haired pedophiliac-looking hippie we never met and didn't have him in our hearts, then we would all go to hell. And in hell, you would constantly be on fire but never die. Thus, you would suffer unimaginable physical torture forever if you didn't do what they said and think what they told you to think. Naturally, no 3-year-old has the mental facilities to realize it's a scam. And so for most of my and many other children's childhoods, we lived in a state of constant stress and fear, worried that if we had an errant thought or a lustful feeling, we would go to hell. However, you inevitably grow up. Your brain matures, and if your environment or tribe is hostile enough, you have the self-respect to leave. And that's when you pay the price. Understand that not only do you rely on the tribe, but the tribe relies on you. After all, a tribe is nothing more than individuals, and the more individuals a tribe has, the stronger it is. Thus, when a member of the tribe wants to leave, it is a direct threat to its survival. To prevent this from happening, all tribes, cults, groups, and organizations will put the errant member through a roughly 7 stages of punishment. And this punishment is the price you get to pay for daring to leave your tribe and leave, quote, ghetto culture. Stage 1, dismissal. The first thing that will happen to you is your family, friends, and other members in your tribe will simply dismiss your desires or thoughts of leaving as a temporary lapse in thinking. You'll be called foolish by your friends, or a common one. Your family elders will simply tell you, you don't know what you're talking about. Whatever deep philosophical thoughts and concerns you have about the future of your life is simply ignored by a patronizing pat on the head. Oh, foolish boy, go play outside. The truth of the matter, however, is that they themselves are so wedded, so committed to the tribe, and have known no other, that they can't possibly conceive there's another, let alone better life out there. They know everything, they are also always right, and they almost view your challenging the premises, rules, and foundations of the tribe as cute, even entertaining. They really don't believe you're serious and simply think it's a phase you're going through that will inevitably go away. Stage 2. Fear. The thing about today's tribes is that you don't need their permission to take individual action. And when you start making noticeable moves to leave the tribe, they start to realize that you weren't joking, you're serious, and thus fear sets in. The fear originates from 2 sources. 1, the natural fear that comes with a smaller and thus weaker tribe. And 2, the fear that there may actually be something better out there and that they may have wasted their lives. And in parentheses, imagine a 45-year-old corporate executive female who suddenly decides she wants to have kids. At this point, you pose a real and genuine threat not just to their survivalist instincts, but to their worldview. You bring up the uncomfortable thought that their one precious and finite life on this planet was wasted. And this then gives them the fuel and vigor to attack you and to stop you. Usually, they'll recite standard doctrinal rules of the tribe that were historically used to keep people in line. In my case, it was, you'll burn in hell. In your case, it may be, it's a white man's world. Or the Republicans will bring back slavery, even though the Republicans actually waged the war against slavery. You can look up history anytime you want. There's a thing, internet, you can look it up. There's amazing stuff on the internet you can look up. See just how much the Democrats on the left are lying to you. Or you're off the reservation. But whatever they throw at you, they fail to realize that you are questioning the fundamental beliefs of your tribe, and previous arguments that worked in the past will not work on you now. You need to go and find out for yourself, and thus you are not still deterred. Stage 3, hatred and shaming. When it's obvious the traditional arguments no longer work, they realize you may be daring to demand a better life than what the tribe will provide you. and it is here where you will really strike a blow to their egos because you are more or less telling them they're not good enough. This elicits rage. It is a near guarantee people will yell at you, "What, you think you're better than us? You think you deserve more than we do?" And there is also no doubt you will be called every traitorous names blacks have come up with to shame anyone who dares to wish for a better life. You're acting white, House Negro, Uncle Tom, Uncle Ruckus, Oreo, you're not down with the cause, etc. This will be particularly painful, not so much because of the name calling or the fact you are generally not a traitor, but it will likely come from your family, friends, loved ones, and everybody else that you've had in your life up until this point. What will hurt even more is when you realize that they love their causes, their religions, their egos, etc. more than they love you. Thankfully, not all loved ones will act this way or respect your decision. It is here you find out who your true friends and loved ones are. Stage 4, threats. If you do not relent, their fear, anger, hatred, and envy will accumulate into threats. Threats of what? Threats of anything. Threats not to set foot in people's houses ever again. Threats you won't be invited to any parties. Threats not to visit certain neighborhood. Physical threats. Cars getting keyed. Even parents, quote, cutting you off, effectively banishing you and disowning you. Whatever they can do to either scare you or hostage take you into staying in the tribe, they'll do it. Stage 5, violence. If verbal threats won't do the job, some people are willing to go so far as to physically punish you, even kill you. There's sadly too many stories of ghetto culture. There's too many stories of ghetto culture tribe members being up, even killing fellow black youths who are either acting white or daring to leave the tribe. And if I may provide a little personal note here, I've had a couple young black men whose mothers, of all people, threatened to disown them because these guys wanted to leave the house and go to college or go get a job somewhere, and if they left, then their mothers would not be able to collect the housing allowance for welfare or the Section 8 housing. And so that's exactly what I'm talking about here. But you can listen to me if you want. These are the proverbial crabs in the bucket that have such miserable and worthless lives they cannot allow anybody else to have better. What is truly sick is they are so psychotic they would rather harm or kill people than see them improve their lives. Again, I simply ask, do you deserve such a culture? Stage 6, ostracization. If you didn't take the hint with actual violence and threats against your life, the tribe will finally kick you out as their ultimate punishment. You have lost your original social network, your friends, and perhaps even some family members. They're resigned to the fact you are leaving, but they are going to make sure you can't come back, gaining their last pound of flesh. Historically, banishment or excommunication was more or less a death sentence. Thankfully, again, tribalism is obsolete, and you will not starve or be kidnapped by a rival tribe today. However, giving up your original tribe and all the security and social networks that came with it is still a steep price to pay. This will likely be the lowest point in your entire life until you rebuild your life with another tribe. Thankfully, the life you live will be better than the one you left. Stage 7, envy. The last stage of punishment is actually not a punishment for you, but rather the tribe that raked you through the previous 6 stages. For as you go on to live your life, you will likely do better than your predecessors. You will have greater financial success, better romantic success, perhaps a career, and a nice, intact nuclear family. Your children will love you and visit you on Christmas, and your wife will be supporting instead of confrontational nagging and controlling. You will, by all practical means and measures, have a superior life to the lives of your former tribe members. However, the true revenge does not come in the form of a silent envy the people you left in the ghetto culture will have of you. Instead, it will be that your confirmation and proof that they were indeed wasting their lives. Quote, Whitey wasn't, quote, oppressing them. Quote, the man wasn't, quote, holding them down. They were a prisoner in a cell with no bars. All they had to do was walk out, be free, and pursue a life like you did. Unfortunately, they were either too scared to leave the tribe or too lazy to put forth the effort to achieve what you did. But your presence and success will constantly remind them of this fact, as well as serve as an example to other young black men who wish to escape the ghetto, giving them genuine hope and a chance at a better life. Anyway, again, this is called The Black Man's Guide Out of Poverty. I wrote it not because I wanted to make money. Well, I did want to make money too, that was it. But this is because I have a fair amount of young black men who come to my website and my channel and my YouTube and all that other stuff, and I wanted to help them out. So if you are a young black man looking to get out, of poverty. If you know someone who happens to be a young black man wanting to get out of poverty, get them that book. That is what I wrote. And hey, oh, am I white? Oh, shit, I'm white. Oh, fuck. Jesus Christ. Everything I wrote in this book is false. It's all bullshit, man, because I'm white. Jesus Christ. Fuck. Now, if you're a dipshit and you think just because I'm white I didn't suffer poverty all day, yeah, fuck you, okay? But, yeah, hey, you want to help out your fellow black man, you got some black guy you actually genuinely care about, get him that fucking book. Because I wrote it because actually I want to do a little bit of good before I fucking die. I'm 40 years old. I tell you, I'm 40 years old. I'm like, gosh, what am I, 60% dead? I'm 60% dead. So I did want to help out all the young black men that do come to my website, my channel. I also would love nothing more than every young black man to read this book. Everyone in Baltimore and everything else, I think this really is the key. This really is. Not to say, oh, look, I'm the fucking Messiah. Look at me, I'm Jesus H. Christ or Moses on a fucking thing. I'm just saying, go read the fucking book, you know. It's what, I don't know, what, $15? Consider it. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, best of luck to all of you out there. Wish you the best. Toodles.